This was our laundry room when we first moved into this house. The good old ugly wire shelf had to come out. Took it out, put in floating shelves, but I still needed more space, so I took those out and I completely renovated my laundry room from top to bottom, and I am going to show you how. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's part 2 of my laundry room makeover. Today is the second day. Like I said, I wanted this to be a 3-day project. So far I have already, filled all in my holes, prepped the walls for paint. And now I got ahead of myself because I forgot that I was recording. Remember I said I want to document everything. I already hung one cabinet. And I thought it was a good idea to hang the cabinets before I actually paint. That way I don't have to paint things that don't need to be painted. And since the walls and the cabinets are going to be the same color, it really doesn't matter. When you're hanging wall cabinets, to hang them at least 50 to 54 inches from the floor. I'm going to have a shelf here, so I wanted to make sure that I allow enough room for that shelf and for things to be on that shelf. So I actually went 60 inches high. And what I did was I got a 1x6 and I just placed it here, and this is going to be my support. So if I measure this from the floor up, you see that it's right at 60 inches. What I'm going to do is show you how easy it is to install cabinets all by yourself. What you're going to need first is a stud finder. So what I did is I measured my cabinet side, which is 12 inches, and I took those 12 inches and I went on my wall to see how many studs I have in between those 12 inches. Now typically we normally know studs are 16 inches apart, so I know that I really only have one stud, which is going to be over here in this corner. So I made sure I marked that off on my cabinet, and I already drilled pilot holes. And then I also did the same thing here. My cabinet is going to be, it's like 14.5 inches long. So I did the same thing over here, and I only have one stud as well, and it's also in the corner. So I might have to do something else for a little bit of support, but we will see. The thing I want to emphasize is that I love these construction screws. Can you see them? They're T25 construction screws, and these are only the 2-inch. I like to go anything further than 2-inch if the wood is not thick. So what I love about them is that very, very sturdy compared to any other type of screw. And it also comes with a drill bit for you for the T25. But I already have a lot of T25 drill bits, so I don't need to utilize theirs. But that's just something for you to think about when you're doing projects around the house, is to use some T25 screws. They are a little bit more costly, but it's worth it. Trust me, to get to hanging this cabinet. So all I'm going to do is place the cabinet right here on top of my 1x6, making sure it's flush with the wall. Okay, and I'm going to take my drill. I already have the screws in there and everything, and I'm going to just do that again. So now we have both of our cabinets hung, and all I did was screw some nails, some screws into the studs. To keep this secured while I hung the cabinet, so I can just take it off. So as you can see, both of the cabinets are hung. Now I can go in and actually reinstall the doors. These cabinets were actually the bulk of my investment for this laundry room. Paid $70 a piece from Lowe's. I already kind of started pre-priming them. Remember I said my budget, I wanted to be $200. I may go over that a little bit because these came to $140 and my paint was like 20 something dollars. And I think it's some other miscellaneous stuff I have to get. But for the most part, I used to use their stuff that I already have because I have so much scrap wood. So now that the cabinets are hung, start getting ready to paint. I am kind of frustrated right now because I painted this whole entire room, the walls and the ceilings and the cabinets, and I thought I was recording the process, and come to find out my camera wasn't even recording. However, I only did one coat. I do have to do another coat, so you guys will be able to see that. In the meantime, all of the stuff that wasn't captured, I will go over briefly. I did extend the cabinets all the way up by adding some MDF boards. I also installed 1x2s to support my shelves that I'm going to do. So I'm going to have a shelf up here and a shelf right above the washer and dryer that I'm going to install now. Okay, so let's do the bottom one first. And this is just a dry fit. And I may have to come in here and trim off some of this. Let's see. Oh gosh. Yeah. Definitely going to have to trim off a little bit of this. Taking a little wood glue and applying it. I'm almost out, but I have plenty of this, so I like to use everything in the ball before I open another one. And I already dry fitted these, so should be perfect. I still have another coat of paint to do because I knew I was going to do some stuffing installing these shelves. As you can see, there's my shelf over my washer and dryer, but this is already in, already stained it. I'm going to do everything to protect it so when I do my second coat, it won't get on here. And as you can see, these cabinets definitely need a second coat. Now, I'm going to get my nail gun and secure these shelves in. This shelf in. And I'm just going at an angle so that to ensure that this bottom one is secured. Let's put it in here. Here's my other bracket. I don't know how it fell on the floor, but it did. Just gonna apply some wood glue on here. And this is just for some extra support. Now once this dries, I'm going to come back and do the trim, which I have some 1x3 lattice strips that I'm going to use as a trim. I was very careful and picky when I chose those lattice strips because they are not the best of wood, but they're very inexpensive. They're only like $2 and something a piece for the 1x3s. So now let's do the same thing for the top shelf, which I do not need middle support for because it's not going to have anything heavy, and also it's not as long as this bottom shelf. So I'm just going in, adding my wood glue. Whoops, got a little one here. Okay, just hold that thought for a moment. So I got my rubber mallet, and I'm just going to use this for some enforcement to get this shelf in here. When you're installing shelves, if you want a tight fit, it's gonna be some dents that you're gonna put in, or you're gonna smear some of your stuff. But that's why I emphasize that I did not do a second coat, and it's absolutely fine because I probably would have bored you anyway painting this whole entire thing. Also, remove the cover here that goes to the dryer cord because I spray painted it black. And I took down the small vent that was in here and spray painted it black too. But yes, this is how it's looking so far. I am loving the results. I'm going to show you guys that I also painted the ceiling. This will not get a second coat. This is this wall. This is the other wall. On this wall, again, it will be wallpaper. I will have a broom closet, very small, but it's going to have depth because if I do it right, hopefully my vacuum cleaner can fit in here. I went ahead and painted this wall, which I still have to do over there by the washer, but I painted it so if I don't like the wallpaper for whatever reason, I can just easily remove it and I will already have my wall painted the same color as everything else. The lighting may be a little off. I'm going to have to change my light bulbs because I have two different colors in here and it's making the lighting look a little different. I'm loving the process. I'm loving the progress already. You see the vent is removed because I spray painted it. I'm waiting on it to dry. I still haven't gotten down to that area yet to replace the baseboards. That's going to be the last thing that I do because out and reinstall a new one. Once I get done with everything, gotta finish painting behind the washer, which I really don't have to, but I just like everything to be. Okay, we done came a long way since I last updated you all. It is day 7 and I know I said I would get this done in 3 days, but I started on last Tuesday. It's now Tuesday again. I've made a tremendous amount of progress and it's only me doing all of this, so you know, it is what it is. I just really come in here when I have time, but I don't come in here just like for 5 or 10 minutes. When I'm in here, I'm literally in here for at least an hour or 2. I since made this area here, which is going to house my broom, my mop, my vacuum. One thing I want to point out is never paint or prime laminate furniture before you sand it, because this is what will happen. The furniture already has a finish on it and it's only going to bubble up and it's just horrible. So I have to go in and sand all of this off. As you can see, I did my backsplash And all I did was took some 1x2s, cut them down to size, and nailed them on there. They look like this. I already pre-stained them black, but of course I had to go in and fill in the nail holes and sand all of those, so I have to re-stain it. And I'm going to put a trim down there at the bottom. I finished my 2 cabinets. I do have hardware that I'm going to put on there. I spray painted the vents black. Indecisive on what color I'm going to do the inside of here, but I think I'm just going to keep everything, you know, the same and go with the green since I have so much of it. I'm actually doing this on my phone right now because, as you can see, the space is not big, and that's a big reason why I didn't record as much as I should have, because it's hard to set up my tripod in here to capture everything because the space is not that big. But I already painted my baseboard. I have not cleaned the floors yet. I already installed those shelves. I gotta restain those and put the finish on top. I do have hardware, if I haven't said that. I'm going to put a door here. So you see I have a top shelf, and I'm gonna put a door here that swings that way. Not sure if I want a sliding door or just a regular open door that I can make myself. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And I'm so excited because it's looking like a totally different room already. Totally different. Just from these little minor things that I've done, it looks totally different. And I did not purchase any crown molding, just so you know, because I told you guys I'm on a budget and I'm trying to utilize everything that I have at home. So this is just something I actually made myself out of scrap material that I have, because a year ago I actually remodeled my whole entire walk-in closet, and I still have a lot of material. I still have a lot of material left from that. So I'm utilizing some of that. And I got my clamps on here because I'm trying not to go and buy stuff. So like I don't have any 3/4 or 1-inch nails. Only have a 1.5 and 2-inch brad nails. So if I put it in here, it's going to be too long. So I'm just clamping it together with some wood glue, and I might come back and actually put a couple of screws in there just for security purposes. But yeah, tomorrow, finish sanding, finish everything, sand it up and paint, and hopefully, I got my fingers crossed, I can be done by Thursday. Completely done. Okay, made some more progress. This is actually day 14. I had to take a vacation. Well, it wasn't a vacation. Went on a track meet with my son. But when I came back, I got right back to it. I finished the broom closet, painted all of that. I actually installed another shelf. And then I made the area for the hamper and the actual drawer. So still making progress, making a lot of progress. Now I have to go in and actually finish up. I have to finish the baseboards, and I have to put the door on. I made a drying rack. Then I have to install the actual closet rod. A lot of little miscellaneous things, but coming together nicely. Okay, we on day 10,265. Just kidding, but here's our progress so far. Came a long way. Still got a ways to go. Just some minor touch-ups. I have to do my top coats. I also got to install my handles. You see, I'm still utilizing the washer and dryer. I just got it covered. Oh, our door. Got this painted on the inside. I'm going to add one more hinge to this door just for safety reasons. And I gotta finish my baseboards. I also gotta clean the floors, but we came a long way, a long way. Let's keep going. So these shelves I initially stained brown, but I wanted a different color. Just used some gray paint that I already had and some beige paint I already had. I just did a simple gray wash on them, and I think they came out really nice. I already installed my rod up here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do my drying rack here or here. I opted out of doing wallpaper on here. I just think it'll be too busy, too much going on. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do here yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to do my drying rack here or over here, like I said, but we'll figure that out later. Now I'm just trying to finish all of this up. Okay, so I already applied a top coat to the shelves and to the backsplash and to my cabinets, and I'm already utilizing these cabinets. I'm not wasting any time. Also apply a top coat here. Not done with the drawers and the door yet. I gotta paint those again, so probably 2 more times. I just want to make sure I cover them completely, and I still have to install this. Let's see, but it's coming along very, very nicely. It's just the little tiny stuff, is the detail stuff is what, you know, takes up the bulk of the time, because you have to get every single detail. And I have to go back, and I did not put baseboards behind this washer and dryer, so I have to go back and do that as well. Then I'm going to change the light switch. But that's how we're looking so far, and it's coming along. It's really, really coming along. Like, I am so satisfied. I'm pleased, actually. Like, this is a major transformation. Actually, is going to be the broom closet. It's going to house the broom, the vacuum, the ironing board, the mop. I'm going to put some hangers in there so I can hang it on there. And I'm going to put this handle on here. I also got to paint it a couple of more times. This is a drawer that I made that will house miscellaneous stuff. It's a soft close drawer. I also got to put a handle on there. Then that will be for the hamper. It's going to be a pull-out hamper. I'm actually waiting on the actual slides, the drawer slides, before I can install that. It's already made. I'm just waiting to install it. Got to finish the baseboards. But I'm almost done. Hopefully I'll be done by this weekend. We'll see, because I don't feel good. Okay, guys, that concludes part 2 of my laundry room makeover. Please come back and watch the finale, part 3, where I show you everything, how I decorated. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. Thank you.